Directorate HQ before committing resources to search and rescue.
The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Good subjects arrive 15 minutes early to avoid missing their tram. Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden. This is your 2060
Mind the gap. All of them.
items with you at all times. Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives. Attention, passenger. You are running 21,027 hours late for your tram. Please be mindful.
Looks like folks holed up here after the fighting started. Guess not everybody was eager to take sides. Lest you're bent on exploring, best we hook it over to Matriarch's Mercy and meet with that abbot the Tsar mentioned.
Join the Order of the Ascendant and experience the beauty Somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The arachnids, I chased them off, but please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. Thank you.
Something's important.
Unfriendly in combat range.
Another refugee? Oh, just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. Welcome to Matriarch's mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's...
I remember this place before the war.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Wish.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Don't want it, don't need it. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too.
How long are we meant to stay here? How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in a predicament.
broke my nose. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won, you won, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now.
You used at least 2 words I ain't sure I know. And I already...
You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She
doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face...
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence.
Keep your lamps lit. Wherever there's trouble, there's always opportunists willing to profit from it.
You strike me as the upstanding type.
You got business? No? Move on. So's the place we used to stash the bodies of those too nosy to know better. You got...
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yags, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a cicada to feed.
Your nose was just a stand.
What happened to this place?
We're not going anywhere.
Cause trouble at Ivy School.
Not in the... Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. Though, admittedly, it's a difficult way to make friends. The Order's not exactly fond of me. Rabble-rousing doesn't align with their vision of a perfect universe. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of... Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. People are cramped, injured, sick. The Order needs to do more than command. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but maybe you'll have better luck. Thanks, stranger. You can find Agarwal in the lift building. Probably...
Where do we go now? Another refugee?
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so Choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Oh, May, is it? You're on a first-name basis already? This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Surely, but the abbot asked me to be personally responsible for their continued well-being. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? These are the data points we need. Keep at it then. Precision is ever our ideal. Many people around camp support or object to our methods.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied. I haven't any time.
By the law. It's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Forgive me. Thoughts of destiny and predictability tend to raise my blood pressure. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but two imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? Since you are...
right. The universe does not...
Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. More what to watch out for, advisement on adhering to the plan, forecasts of probabilistic dangers. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can, of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, but as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. I believe my services will be increasingly sought after. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we... Well...
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Sensible. Straight to business, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, that said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the N-Ray range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so...
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with N-rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization. Besides the highly caustic Serenium River and the Mantisaurs, We've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Fascinating. Your fear response must be suffering from some
A generous offer, my friend, but I don't think the agent is interested in... Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over... As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Earth Directorate Agent is just a title. I'd seek to know who you are beyond that bit of headline.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending... One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your find. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty.
Where to first, Commander? Enray Rames, Zeranium Manufacturing, or Outpost Opportunity?
Oh! Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to, and suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done and told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they'd saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
By calculating the position of... Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math. And, oh dear, I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations I am single-handedly making a difference here. With constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on Order history, never as many as I would like, perhaps. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just...
Where do we go now? What happened to this? What happened to this place? In the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Ow!
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Look.
Great. Don't tell me you're one of those clones from...
Sorry. I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no law. Finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. If it's all the same, I'll give it to someone in real need. You have my gratitude, stranger. Anyway,
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Distraction and I are old colleagues at this point. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful to show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate, I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated, according to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, by quite a healthy statistical margin, yes. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key... But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Wit, then...
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
I'm here to maintain security, not to teach you remedial calculus.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh, I don't know. Assume there must be all sorts of pointy bits? And I wouldn't want you getting lockjaw. Seen a lot of makeshift shanties capsize lately. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
Closely monitor their surroundings at all times, whilst peregrinating outside inhabited areas.
Friends, neighbors, while you shelter in matriarch's mercy, heed the teachings of the Order.
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? Well then, if you need me in the meantime...
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict with an April.
You got business?
No? Move on. Reckon you at least know how to oil the gears of ingress. Salutations, friend. Not many find their way into my presence, but I do hope you'll pardon the rigmarole it took to meet me. The Order has such an antiquated philosophy on the smuggling of contraband. Savvier than you look. Might be that I've got an agent over by the Guardian Estates that I haven't heard from in a spell. If you perhaps find yourself over that way, and perhaps make sure that the aforementioned agent hasn't been torn limb from limb, we stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bit. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if idle browser...
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to our
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
I hope this is not too... This is the Order's anti-air control center. You don't have specific business here? Kindly keep moving.
over here. So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Interesting timing. May I see it then? Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. One of our transport pods filled with Zeranium was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow... No, it doesn't add up particularly well. Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. An understandable perspective. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you were on hand to...
It evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zeranium. Blue outpost opportunities for profit.
Initiate Alva, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at...
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated.
What's her name took over. I'm not clear to speak with random factors.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. Oh, no, I wouldn't frame it quite like that, of course. It's less what happened than who happened. Initiate Alva, that is. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. Her role was to launch transport pods of volatile Zeranium to collection points in space. Not at the outposts of our rivals. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. But I haven't even told you the worst part. How Alva took control. The subsequent, albeit strangely indirect, obloquy and vituperation. Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her would all be in my office.
Now, this is important. Would you describe the miraculous when it attacked? How much business?
Of course, she's hiding something. Investigate those two exemplars. Absolutely wrong. They're hardly prone to involuntary self-injury.
Oh, hello. A visitor. And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire. Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? Another Earth Directorate agent, I see.
Is she talking about me?
Oh my! That Earth Directorate support mech is a design classic. All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I'd like to know that more than anyone. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though technically speaking, they did kill each other. There was a scuffle. Their weapons fired. It was a most unfortunate thing. I hate to speak poorly of management, but we workfolk around the manufactory consider the proctor something of a petty bureaucrat, dear. I assume she's acting as any functionary would, assigning blame to appear in control. But you know the type, surely. Dear me, I wish I knew. But, actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of... Appreciate your help, dear. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Investigator? Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being
Our Earth Director is Fred. Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our... Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. I appreciate even your hesitant support. Now, I believe you had an update for...
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think? I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
All right.
I'll stay here and play for more.
Alba's been here for how many years? I never noticed her.
All your endeavors add to the equation.
Proctor Svoboda seeks retribution. This unit is capable of complying.
Triggerfinger's still tired!
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Strange question, but yes, all commands path through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing, or were in a rush, or both. Well, that's about everything I know. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
May all your theories prove true.
Always account for standard deviation.
Something about that Alpha doesn't square. And she called me sad. I'm not sad. Just for the record.
Respecting one's elders is considered good manners in most colonies. Exceptions may be made for violent offenders.
Ah, yes. Suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas? Tremendous. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results. You're back. Uranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes. I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other crisis nearby. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's okay. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly. Or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's the pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is... Yes, I had had my fill of stochastic uncertainty today.
Circumstances proceed toward intended results. Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or, specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here?
I wholeheartedly agree, but her incompetence hardly absolves her. I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back-manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint. I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult assignment. More than that, I have nothing to speak on at present.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda.
It's sweet that you think you can stop me, but I'll elucidate this for you. At this point, you'll either need to trust me or back that worm Svoboda. That ridiculous little functionary upended my existence. For 20 years, I was Alva. It wasn't a good life I had here, but it was quiet. It was mine. It wasn't hers to take.
This would mean standing against a member of the Order. A mid-ranking one, at that. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Wait, you can't possibly believe this balderdash. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Yes, though I was aiming for her face. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Updating threat assessment of Marisol Delgado to hi.
The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look.
Runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors.
The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Sure, I could use a few ticks off my feet. Leg has been aching a bit. But hey, you need me, you know where to find me. And don't let that one stray outside your peripherals.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
In progress.
Negative. Pharmaceutical reload in progress. So
this. Were the written orders really not enough? Void damn scrappers. Listen up, you, hard-working scrappers! Auntie's Choice needs you to bring scrap. Bring whole armloads to drop location 14C. 14C! You bring scrap, we give Adrena time. Very simple. Special. Bring us an order targeting system. Get lots of Adrena time. And remember, if any scrapper attacks us again, no Adrena time for anyone. 14C, scrap. Adrena time, no fighting, no violence. That's all. Hopefully even your rotting gray matter can comprehend this.
standing by with life support.
Taking the fight out of them. Locking them down. that hill's not going to climb itself.
Available at your request. Detected. Additional exertions may be required. Combat protocols.
Looks a mite picked clean, doesn't it?
Entering a confrontational state.
Hostiles detected ahead. Recommended course of action. Violence.
lascivious domicile and/or indoor space.
On my scopes. Apologies. No target, no attack.
Adrena time! Don't
Reviving me is strategically optimal. Sort of humor in the onset of the first war in Arcadia's history, within a few days of my being assigned here. As far from protectorate society as possible, Golden Ridge suffers under an invading force, and moreover, it appears that our Order colleagues have betrayed us. At first, I lamented my isolation, but I've realized I was where I needed to be of service.
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must inform me. I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. Sharp-eyed, aren't you? I noticed that as well. One destroyed automech in a massacre seems minimal. Did you have anything else? Very well. Salutations. Has your search uncovered anything of remark? You've been busy. What did you find? Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Thorough destruction scarcely narrows the list of possible suspects, unfortunately. Did you have anything else? That auto-mechanicals would fall in the camp's defense is logical. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Meaning its combat protocols were active for quite some time before it was destroyed. Very well. Salutations. Let's hear it. Someone visited much carnage. Did you learn anything by examining the body? I ascertained the burn wounds, but I theorized plasma damage, not electrical. Seems I must brush up on my ballistic know-how. Did you have anything else? You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? I have a strong theory, but there are gaps. I'd like to hear your own analysis, and we may compare where our ideas converge. A good first observation, and one I concur with. Too little damage, no signs of traditional firearms. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? Scavengers aren't organized enough to eliminate the assailant likely believed killing the refugees manually was beneath them, choosing to compromise the camp's auto-mechanicals instead. I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Yes, that relay tower in the rear of the camp was clearly not built by the refugees, but stolen from the Protectorate, which likely means that they were Protectorate as well. The refugees must have used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. I do pride myself on my thoroughness indeed, though not all arbiters feel the need to be equally thorough. Now with that finished, we... hold.
Seems the machine's returned, bent on eliminating any stragglers.
Locking them down.
automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.